Good day to you, glorious Rascallian Resonators, you absolute legends. The name's FOXSOL, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves, and like always, I'm hoping you're having a great, amazing, fantastic day. So today's topic of choice is going to be all about the Shorekeeper. We're discussing a bit of a prep guide around the Shorekeeper. We're going to be discussing some different things about the Shorekeeper in general. And, you know, my personal opinion around the character from taking a look at everything online, from all the information we have sourced. So, if you're willing and you want to, take a seat at the bar, get you something cold to drink, relax, and let's get straight into the conversation. Alrighty, so I'm using WutheringLabs.com for a lot of the different information and everything else around the Shorekeeper. So here, I'm not going to go through too much of everything. We did this already on the live stream, but we have different things to where the Shorekeeper is going to be a decent healer. That's the best way I can put it. The Shorekeeper, from everything I've read on paper, it does not constitute that the character is going to be that fantastic or that necessary of a character to really pull. So if you're looking at saving your Astrites, you're looking to saving all your summons, by all means, I think it is an option to do. I particularly, after going through everything, understanding that this character will be doing a decent amount of healing, as well as their main focus is to, you know, really produce more of a buff to your crit rate with your entire team. I would say that going through the resonant chain, going through everything, all this information, that at least getting 1 to 2 copies of the Shorekeeper and basically having an additional healer, since we really only have 3 healers that we can use, which being is Baichi, Ferran, and as well as Jianqi. Shorekeeper would be a worthwhile healer that would work very well on the team. Now, when it comes to doing a little bit of a prep guide for her, I will state like this. First and foremost, you got 2 weeks. And with that information being stated, and if you got really nothing else to do and you are going for the Shorekeeper, doing the Forgery Challenge, Misty Forest right here, and getting right here the Helix items, this material set, this is what's going to help you out the most. I would completely suggest go ahead, take at least a week, 4 or 5 days, you know, and just go ahead and spin your wave plates and just use it all on this and get as much of the material as possible. Along with that, since we already know how the WutheringWaves economy is and how inflated it is, I would also recommend within these 2 weeks to also start building up your shell credits if you haven't done that, because God knows how much it's going to take to spend to build up the Forte tree and the Ascension and everything on the character and get the character going. But I do have good news when it's going to come down to future purposes when it comes to the weapon on how to reduce your cost, if you would. We'll get into that in a little bit, but these are the 2 main sources right here, the Helix. Now, when it comes to the additional information on this, we're going to come into here. You're going to want to have the coral plant like we did for Yao. You can find this on the map. You're going to need at least 20 of them to get to rank 6. And then when it's going to come down to the boss core material, it's going to be with the new boss, the fallacy of no return. So, hate to tell you this, there's no prepping for that. You have to wait till 1.3 drops in order to get the new boss core material. But, hey, you know, if you have the wave plates, you save everything up, you go fight them, that should take you less than, you know, a few, not even an hour or so, depending on how many wave plates you got. That should be quite simple, very fast, easy to do, be done in a day. Now, talking about the fallacy of no return, he is going to be an echo that is Rejuvenation Glow. This is where what I was ended up doing, and I was discussing this on the live stream. I've even went ahead and built a notepad around this. With the Shorekeeper, there's different echo sets that we can look at, and if you're looking at planning for echo sets on this, personally for me, I am going to be doing a 4-4-1-1-1 after going through the entire build cycle on the character, understanding that this character is going to be buffing crit rate up to 20%, understanding that this character as well, when it's coming to healing, it's going to be healing kind of like GLYTCH with their resonant skill as well as their resonant liberation damage to a certain degree. And overall, looking at it and understanding that the new boss here is going to be a rejuvenation glow, you can do a 4-3-3-1-1 set, but it depends on what you're looking at with the Shorekeeper. If you're looking at the Shorekeeper doing buffing, you can do rejuvenation glow set, you can do the moonlit cloud set. Rejuvenation glow is probably where everybody's going to want to try to go with. For me personally, I'm debating right now of doing the rejuvenation glow set, or considering doing the moonlit cloud set, or even doing a 50-50 build of both the moonlit cloud and the rejuvenation glow, maximizing out the healing aspect of the Shorekeeper. Now, what I mean by that, and I know there's going to be some comments and there's going to be some people be like, that's not going to be optimal, you know, that's going to be kind of lame, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. No, that's wrong, wrong. Well, listen to me carefully. GLYTCH, Varan, I've done this several times with them, and legitimately, I have found that, you know, doing a 4-4-1-1-1 set on characters that I consider just healers and nothing else prior to that, and from everything on paper that I'm reading, there's nothing substantial that's going to make this character pop out more than just giving me an auto dodge and a healing aspect with a crit buff. There's nothing here that states that she's going to be doing any true real damage. A 4-4-1-1-1 set would tremendously work well, I believe, because with two of the healing bosses, so if you have like for example, we do a rejuvenation glow set, you can do the Bellborn and you can do the no return boss here, the brand new one, both do them as a healing bonus asset. That is a additional 26.7 or 26.5% healing bonus, along with the 12% that is going to be built into the stat bonuses of the Shorekeeper, as seen down right here with the healing bonus at 12%. So we can be maximizing her healing potential truly out there. And I think she would actually heal a lot better with a 4-4-1-1-1 set. Along with that, you know, with the cost 1 echoes, you could do either attack, HP, or defense echoes, whichever way you think about it. It's not that big of a deal, and it would be perfectly fine. Now, there is some other things that we should talk about, and along with this is that, you know, as the echo set, there will be, you know, her resonant chain skill. Well, with resonant chain, if you take a look at everything here with the Shorekeeper, you have sequence 1 through 6. And from reading all this, you know, basically sequence 1 is going to, you know, when casting your alt, your effective range is going to be significantly extended, and the duration is going to increase by 150%. With sequence 2, with the butterflies, with the flare star butterfly targeting, the Shorekeeper will heal herself by 2% of her max HP, and when the dim star butterfly hits a target, all team members will have a damage increase of 3%, and this effect will stack up to 5 times for the next 30 seconds. Going further into it with sequence 3, with Celluram present, the Shorekeeper will gain 20% of the outro energy when nearby team member casts their intro end skill, and this effect can be triggered every 25 seconds, once every 25 seconds. Sequence 4, casting outro skill, all nearby team members' damage will be increased by 10%, and this effect will last for 30 seconds. Sequence 5, the effective range of basic attacks, stage 3, deduction will be extended by 30%. And sequence 6, when casting intro skill, does improve the chain intro disturbance multiplier by 42%. The chain intro will basically increase her crit damage by 200%. My personal preference on this is that I'm at least going to look at getting at least 2 copies, meaning that I would be going for Shorekeeper sequence 1. I don't see any true benefit really as a healer, or from everything that I've read with her skill trees and everything else that has been provided here on the sheet, that going any higher than even sequence 2, to be honest, is going to be worth really that big of a deal. I mean, gaining 20% outro energy, getting, a damage amplification of 10%. Like, sequence 6 is really great, but she's not here to deal damage. She's here to be a healer. She's here to be a supportive character for our team. And in all honesty, she's not really that impressive. So I would, if you're like me and you're trying to save some money, I would try to pull for her and then try to see about winning the 50-50. And if I lose the 50-50, oh fucking well, don't bother putting no more money into it. Go ahead and save everything else for Camellia. Otherwise than that, if you win the 50-50 and you can at least get sequence 1 or sequence 2 out of this, you're in good shape either way. Now, talking about her signature weapon, the Stellar here, I'm going to be honest, after looking over this weapon several times over the live stream and talking about this with Noisy Boy and a few others, the standard weapon, the signature weapon that she has, in all honesty, I would avoid this. I would not even bother to pull for this. This is going to save you some money and everything else, because looking at this, I will say it like this, at a rank 1, you're just going to increase her HP by 12%, restore 8 of the energy by casting, your alt. The effect will be only triggered once every 20 seconds, and when casting, your resident skill that heals, you increase the party member's attack, and I know this is 10% for the next 30 seconds, and the effect cannot, effect of the same name cannot be stacked. So looking over this, understanding this, I was comparing this against another weapon, which was Variation. This is what I would be standardly using with Baichi. So let's put these two against each other in a sense. When it comes down to it, Variation's highest attack is going to be 338. That's only a reduction of a 75% attack. Only 75 attack. When it comes to energy regen of the weapon, which is at 76, which we can consider at 77, we're only going to be, we can consider this at, 52%. We're only losing 25% energy regen, and we can supplement that with Variation. We can supplement that really easily with an Echo set to really truly maximize the energy regen and the attack if we wanted to. And with this, we can also restore, the outro energy by 8, and Variation is a more common weapon that when you're pulling for the character anyway, this is a common weapon that is a 4-star weapon that you're going to see a lot of, and you probably already have it. So if you already have it, you probably already have it at a level 5, and you're probably already using it on another character anyway. So it would make more sense, in my personal opinion, to use Variation over Stellar on the Shorekeeper. I don't see the benefit, really, the true big benefit of this signature weapon. The only way I would see the big benefit of the signature weapon is if we rank it at least at a level 3, meaning that you would need to pull 3 copies to increase the HP by 18%, to get 12 of the ultra energy, and I believe it's like 12, I think it's like 15% attack. But even then, I would probably still tell you that you would still technically want to have a level 5 version of the weapon, meaning you'd need to pull 5 copies. And depending on you, how you are versus how I am, I'm the type of person that, I love the game, but I love my money in my wallet as well. So bypassing this weapon and sticking with Variation, which I already have, and I already have it built up and everything else, and it's a 4-star weapon, and it's going to do this basically the same job, and it's going to help healing, then at that point in time, there is no point in pulling for the signature weapon. The signature weapon, in my personal opinion, is not that good. The character itself is a decent character, but it's nothing to cry home about, to be like, oh my god, this is like another Chang Li. Oh my god, this is like Yao. There's nothing between the character, there's nothing between the weapon that truly comes together that says that this is truly, on paper, that amazing. Because let's put it this way. There is in certain circumstances with characters, and I will show it like this. Like Yao, for example, that when you're pulling a weapon, that signature weapon truly complements the character. In this case regard, you know, with handle, the weapon itself, you'll gain a 12% attribute damage bonus, and when using the alt, the wielder will gain a 48% resonant liberation damage bonus for 8 seconds, and the effect can extend by 5 seconds each time the resonant skills are cast upon 3 times. So a weapon like this really, you know, really as a signature weapon showcases how amazing the character can be, whereas in all honesty, overlooking, you know, not GN's build, but Shorekeeper right here, overlooking the Shorekeeper's weapon itself, the Stellar, this right here is not, it's not that impressive. Her signature weapon, in my personal opinion, is not an impressive weapon by any means, unless you're going to be putting in 5 copies of it. Otherwise than that, it's easier to get 5 copies of variation and do it that way, and using a 4-star weapon versus a 5-star weapon, you're really not losing out that much. So my personal recommendation is don't even bother with the signature weapon and stick with a 4-star weapon like variation. That will give you the same type of benefits, and would be, even though it's a little bit reduced, you know, like a 25% reduction on the energy regen, 75 attack being removed, leaving you at 338 and 51.84%, is still relatively great for a supportive healer character. So again, with a little bit of the prep guide that I gave y'all and everything else, my personal opinion completely around the Shorekeeper and all this information that has been provided and overlooked, my personal opinion is she's not going to be that great of a character. But with only having 3 healers, having a 4th healer, and truly, you know, Jianchi, even though she does heal, it's one thing to where you still have to work to get that heal, whereas this character here, Shorekeeper, is just going to be a straight up healer anyway, kind of like Baichi. So I kind of feel like Shorekeeper is a mixture between Varan and Baichi, which makes it really good. So take it from what you would. That is my personal opinion. Again, like I said, Echo Set, there's going to be 2 types of Echo Sets that you can run on her. You can run the Rejuvenation Glow, which would be really well. You can run even Moonlit Clouds, believe it or not, and it would work really fucking well. And you can do a mixture of both of the Echo Sets, and that's probably most likely what I'm end up going to go with, versus doing Rejuvenation Glow or versus doing Moonlit Clouds. I have to take a really good look at it to see for myself whether I just want her to be a healer or whether I want her to do a 22.5% amplification on a character versus doing a what is it, Rejuvenation Glow. I believe Rejuvenation Glow is like 10% or 15%, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look. I don't want to give the wrong information here. So looking at, like, you know, Rejuvenation Glow, pull open. Rejuvenation Glow would give, come on, open up. Yeah, 15%. So we can either increase the attack of all party members by 15% for 30 seconds upon healing, or we can look at, you know, the next resonator getting an increasement of 22.5% on their attack. Either way, both of these are really good to do as a 5-piece set. You can do it as a 50-50 set. I'm more likely going to try to do a 5-piece Rejuvenation Glow set, but at the same point in time, I'm almost considering, depending on how the energy regen and everything is, to do a full-blown, you know, Moonlit Clouds Rejuvenation set too. I'll have to look at it a little bit more in the future when she comes out a little bit more, but this is my opinion. Take it and leave it. Tell me what your thoughts is down below in the comment section. Pretty sure a lot of you is going to tell me it's not optimal what I'm saying, that I'm wrong in a lot of cases, but let's be honest here, especially with the weapon, I don't think I'm wrong. I like everything that I'm looking at between this right here versus variation, the 4-star weapon, in my personal opinion, especially when it comes to the wallet, it outclasses the 5-star weapon tremendously in terms of money, in terms of value. The value of the 5-star weapon versus the 4-star weapon, I hate to say it, the 4-star weapon, in my personal opinion, wins. So let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me in the comment section below. All that good stuff. And I tell you what, keep it real, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Have a good day. Bye.